Okay, so this week I got Reinhardt to redesign. I was quite happy with this because it's a pretty cool animation. Uh, I'll show you what it sounds like with all the layers first. So yeah, when I first saw this, I knew that the key to doing this right would be is just selling this big chunky impact. So that's where I spent most of my time, which I'll go into. But yeah, this redesign was quite tough, to be honest. It kind of kicked my ass. I think this has ended up being my 5th iteration on it before I was happy with it. But yeah, sometimes you might see my master output clipping occasionally. I don't know why this is. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, if it's clipping, then don't pay any attention to that. All right, so quickly, I'll just start off with, I usually add like a room tone to the scene. I mean, it's barely even audible. I'll probably mix it down later in the mix, but when I start, I like to just have something there that I'm not just designing to silence. So just some white noise with some filters on it. But yeah, so the swing portion. So originally I wanted to give this lots of bass and low end to make this hammer sound super heavy. But I found that it really took the oomph out of the impact. So I wanted to sort of reserve the bass and low frequencies for when the impact happens. But I still kept some low end. So I started off with just a sine wave recording I just made with a synth. It's just literally 150 hertz, which I slowly pitched down to 50 hertz. That's in my library, and I'll just pick it out for really easy ways of getting sub stuff in there. So I've just got a little bit of volume automation in this as the hammer swings around. If you're listening to this on your phone, you probably won't be able to hear this. But it's really sort of low frequency stuff. Again, just helps out the weight. I give it a bit of a sort of metal shimmer, just to give a hint of its material. This sound I have in my library from recording at Alberte, where we just got access to basically a warehouse, and there's just loads of metal stuff, so I use this one quite a lot. It's got like an awesome resonant tone to it, so I've just given it some volume automation like the bass, and then I think I pitched this section up as well at the end, just to help us out the whoosh. And then I've got a simple pink noise whoosh, I think, which again, just the same as this, a volume automation, nice and quick and easy to do. And all together, it sounds like this. It's pretty basic, nothing too complicated. So I ran into the same issue with the character movement. Reinhardt's a big looking dude, so I wanted to make him sound chunky and heavy. But the more bass and low end I put into this, it just lessened the impact. So a lot of this stuff is just sort of mid-range to high frequency sounds. So I'll just go through these. This is kind of cool. Just like a sort of, I don't know, I pictured him like powering up because this thing's so heavy that he needs to sort of kick it in an extra gear or whatever to lift this thing. I can show you, I think it's just this recording. Just took that sort of really cool wind up sound. Again, this was just the access to we had at Alberte. I was able to just record all these old machines and stuff. So, yeah, so you can kind of hear it a little bit here. Obviously I've processed it quite a lot as well. It's with actually not that much, just a chopper. This is my go-to thing to make anything sound techy. If I take that off, still sounds cool, but this is way cooler. And just his armor, I have a recording of my mate Corey running into a garage door, which I think I have a video of. Yeah, pretty subtle. This is something I've started doing actually with long clips like this, because if I take off the automation and give you the volume, it's literally really noisy. Sounds awful, but if you pop in the volume automation, just fitting in as he moves. This is a quick way of just syncing that up without having to worry about cutting it up. And then just some more sort of metally sounds going on. Big clunky. Some clicks. A nice like squeaky grind. But yeah, nothing too crazy going on. So that's what altogether sounds like this. And then I had some stupid vocals I already recorded for a Witcher redesign that I just pitched way down, and I did a lot of things to make him sound like a robot. Oh my god. Sorry, that's insanely loud. I don't know why. Took the compressor off. Okay, that's still really loud. But yeah, pitch down my voice, put some close delay on it, some octave, a reverb for whatever reason, and some more chopper. Sounds like this. Pretty cool. A train toilet. What does this do? Oh, cool. Yeah, I guess that's like a piston for him moving his arm around. And then... Okay. That's probably not even audible, but all together, this is what we were working with so far. Okay. So moving on to the main sound of this redesign is the impact. So if anyone knows a better way of doing this, please let me know. But I kind of went a bit mental with this. So going into this, my thought was, what would it sound like if I were to stand right next to this guy with my microphone as he slams the ground with his big hammer? The microphone would surely just to start and be destroyed. So I kind of wanted to try and emulate that. So what I did was I made a transient group for the initial hit, and I just split it up into high, mid, and low frequencies. I've got the same, so this is going to sound mental. I'll just show you what it's basically white noise. But I've got a door slam and a metal hit that I've got. I pitched it down for the mids, and I pitched it down again for the lows, stacked them up so they sound like this. It sounds just like noise, basically. Again, I just wanted to make a sort of artificial distortion, as if this microphone's just been completely destroyed. So this was okay, but I still wanted more. So I created a group track, which I just called Death, and this is kind of insane. But I just put a bunch of limiters on there and cranked them up. So anything that passes through this bus, the sound basically just gets destroyed. So that's what that sounds like with all these just silliness. And it sounds like my speakers are dying, but as you can see, it's not clipping. It sounds like it is. So that it goes into another group track, this master group track, where it is controlled and lowered. If I were to take these off, it'd be insanely loud. So that was like the first part of my hit, which doesn't sound like much at all. It's basically noise. But it ended up being a really good layer to help sell the weight of this thing and the sort of violence of the impact. So I was kind of happy with that, how that turned out. But the main juice of this hit is this kick drum, which I'll just show you. So a lot of processing there. I'll just take all these off. It's pretty underwhelming without the fancy stuff. So I've just started it. I've EQ'd to take the highs out. I put a really close delay on it to sort of, I don't know, crush the sound up a bit. There's a limiter on there. I filtered just a bunch of high frequencies out. Distorted it, maximized, smooshed it together, and then I put it through a reverb because I just want a really low delay to ring out as this thing hits. So with the transient, it sounds a bit better. And I've even for some reason got some more sub frequencies going on there. Surprised that's even audible. So yeah, that's the first half of this hit. A really short, crazy transient, but the selling point of this is in the tail sounds. It gives it its character, material, and the sort of ringing you'd expect from this big metal thing. So yeah, I've got a couple of things going on here. I start off with some debris, just to make it seem like this thing is just destroying the ground. So there's some sand, some stones. Oops. Bamboo snap. And just a pink noise with a volume envelope. So that's sort of my high mid-frequency stuff. A nice snap. And then just some metal ringing sounds, I guess, just to sell the metal aspect of the hammer. So there's the same sound I used for the swinging at the beginning, actually. I do like that sound. Another kick drum for more bass. And just a thunder sound to make it sound like this impact's just reverberating everywhere. So we have this so far with everything. It's getting there. Finally, like I always do, I just put some little sweeteners on things to help sell the whole momentum of the scene. So I've got like a big white noise whoosh that I've done from the very start up to the impact. Again, there's no need for this, but I think it just helps sell the anticipation of the impact. Some one of Corey's ladle sounds, just for these sparks. And just another little cutting sound. Don't really, can't really hear that, but it's definitely adds something. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I say, I think I went a bit crazy with the transient stuff, and if there is a better way of doing this, please let me know. These kind of impacts, the big chunky cinematic ones, can be hard to design by yourself. So I guess, I mean, I wanted to avoid using design sounds for this, because, I mean, this is a learning process for me. So yeah, if anyone has any tips on that, please let me know. But I think that covers it for this week. Thanks for watching.